have now arrived at the most anticipated session of the conference, the keynote session. It is with great pleasure that we welcome Dr. Manimekalai Mohan, founder and managing trustee, SSVM Institutions, Coimbatore. In her keynote address titled Fostering Student Engagement in a Digital Age, Balancing Innovation and Connection, Dr. Mohan will share her valuable insights on how to navigate the challenges of student engagement in an increasingly digital world while ensuring that human connection remains at the heart of education. Her expertise is sure to set the stage for inspiring discussions ahead. May I welcome you, ma'am, on stage.
So I think from morning, each one of us would have been kept tight with a concept called digital, 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 everywhere. Am I right, audience? So like I want everybody to keep yourself away from digital until I complete the session. So you will also understand how we are more connected with the digital and how we should come out of it and live a life. So today's children, we had earlier a panel, and morning when I came, Manjula was talking all about how social media is playing a vital role in today's young children. But still I will say, we cannot escape that situation. We have to live with that situation. So you can see here some icons. Each one of us, we will think from, so we have your millennial group, we don't have your Gen X or Gen Z. We don't have with us here now, Gen Alpha. If you would have had those children, they will give a different tagline for these symbols. So that is how today's generation is. How transformation happens. It's all because of social media. Today's children, they don't get time to communicate with each other. They keep themselves busy with their phone and they communicate with the phone friends, not with the real friends, as in how we are now. So then the way the students learning pattern is changed. And again, when you take engaging them with the world is totally different. See, for example, today we say that this child is facing depression. But until and otherwise they are not connected with the real life situation, they will face all these. As principals and teachers, how can we just overdo this? Very simple. Ensuring a meaningful conversation. See, what is that they expect from us? So when it comes to kindergarten, we have a circle time. But at the same time, do we have a circle time in the class 9, 10, 11, 12, which is really important. We must have a circle time to understand their pressures, their needs, and we have to help them. This is very important. And face-to-face connection that nurture holistic development. Each child will have an intention. They will say, today I love maths. Tomorrow they will say, I don't like maths, I like science. Each day their thought process changes. But only if you are able to focus on their holistic development and their individual needs. See, that is what today many schools we say, our curriculum is a tailor-made curriculum. So it's not a tailor-made curriculum only for the kindergarten. It should be a tailor-made curriculum for the students right from K to 12. So this is very important that where every school principal and every teacher you understand these two things. I am very sure the digital age can be the vital stage for the children to groom them better. So when you take exploring innovative ways, there are 6 areas I have to say. One is understanding student engagement in today's context, where all we can involve them. The role of technology in enhancing engagement. Next is balancing technology with human connection. So these are the areas, I will give you the 6 areas, practical strategies for educators, leading digital transformation in schools. Then evaluating impact, student engagement versus screen dependency. See, these are the very important 6 facts. If we start following and if we understand it better, I'm very sure everything is very easy. So even though we have hot discussions on various topics, we needn't worry about it because we are able to help the children even at the digital age. So the first area is cognitive, emotional and behavioral engagement. See, for example, if a child is going to ask, so when it comes to the cognitive engagement, a student in the class who is very good digitally, they would come out with different questions. They will keep the class engaged. Until and otherwise, if the teacher is not thorough with the context, the class is going to be a flop show. The child will say, okay, the teacher does not understand the need of today's world. So she is trying to beat around the bush. So the next is emotional engagement. A student who feels excited about the project. So today you are giving them a nice project. The child will go deep into it, involved, and they come back with a lot of facts. So if the teacher has a different idea and opinion, and if they have not accepted them, there they will face a problem. But at the same time, if the teacher has understood the concept, every project, each child who brings in their class is an innovative project, they are motivated. They don't go to stress or depression. Behavioral engagement. A student who consistently attends class, participates in group activities and stays focused during the lessons. See, when the class is very engaging and the child knows that my teacher is a teacher who is updated with the present level of the student stage, the child loves to come to the class daily because they'll be quite eager to know what are the new learnings the teacher is going to talk to me today. But if these 3 things are failing, the effective teaching strategies will miss there. So instead, let's see that these 3 areas are focused. Next, coming to the area called how technology has shifted students' learning styles and attention spans. How many of you accept this? How many of you experience this? Can I see your hands go up? How long can you keep your student listening to your 40 minutes class? How many minutes they will be listening to you in a 40 minutes class? Can anybody say? 2 minutes. Good. 20 minutes. Yes. Coming to the point. Yes. So if you keep them engaged, for example, if I'm just going about with my session, I'm very sure everybody will go inside your mobile. But if I don't keep you engaged, my session is going to be a flop show. What I wanted to say to you will be nothing. So, by the end of the session, what is the takeaway? Nothing. So, this is what every teacher should understand. My 40 minutes period, by the end of my 40 minutes, what is the takeaway my student is going to take from my class? So, they needn't keep the class in an elaborate manner. Very simple. They have to see, I had to visit one of my classrooms in my school. The topic was on Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere and Eastern Hemisphere. So when I had to open the book and I had to talk, I asked, how many days do you take this? Ma'am, to explain these hemispheres itself, it takes 1 week. I said, my God. For me, it is only 1 minute. Why do you take such a long time? The teacher said, because so much is inside the textbook where we have to go line by line and explain to them. And I said 100% today's generation will not like your class. I said very simple, take a world map. Ask them to fold the world map vertically and ask them to fold the world map horizontally. So when they open up the map, which is horizontal, northern and southern hemisphere, they understand it easily. And again, when they close the map vertically, and when they open out, they'll know which is western, which is eastern. Do you agree with that? Today's generation is that generation what we are talking about. So they don't want to listen for a dialogue which is going to keep them boring. They want it next. So this is what we have to do. So visual and interactive learning, shift towards paced and on-demand learning. Give them short bites. Like for example, see, if you take an Instagram or YouTube, you have shorts. In that shorts, you have got now mini shorts. So like that, the teacher, before she can take the topic, she can say, today you know what is that I'm going to take? Inner line. When she says every time I'm going to finish the lesson in a line, the whole class is listening. But when she says, when she's going to start the class with, you know today the class is going to be the most lengthiest class and most toughest topic which I'm going to take, finished. Okay, the teacher itself told us the toughest topic, let me not touch it, it's the most lengthiest topic, let me not open that chapter, let me listen to the next chapter. So this is how today's generation are, for which as teachers, we should keep ourselves more focused on it. So the various areas where we can catch hold of their attention span is, if the students, as in how we were talking, 60 minutes, a TikTok clip comes, and then find a 40-minute lecture, which 60-second TikTok clip is faster than a 40-minute lecture. So this is what we have to do. We have to see that, call each student in front. Okay, now what did you understand from this para? What did you understand from this para? What is your message to the student, to the class? Involve the class. Things are going to be very nice. Need for immediate feedback and gratification. So if you have told something, immediately ask them, have you understood? How can I help you? So if these are not been dealt, it is very difficult. Higher engagement with interactive stimuli. Then frequent distraction. If a child is having a frequent distraction, find out what is the problem and keep that child more engaged inside the class. Recognizing both benefits and challenges of digital tools in education. I am very sure everybody you understand the benefits and the challenges, because see, in the benefit side I had to put only 5 points. But in the challenges side, it's never ending. There are more points. But still we can work on the challenges and we can transform the challenges to benefits. The role of technology in enhancing engagement. See, now you know there are various platforms. Even few minutes before you had a platform talking about how education can be transformed using digital. But every session has to be digitalized. It is impossible, but there should be some human connect. Balancing technology with human connection. So how can we have human connection? Because I have to say here very interestingly, a company came to our school, it's an AI, how you can analyze the children by the end of 40 minutes, whether they have listened to the class actively or they have not listened to the class. It was quite interesting. I said, okay, you do a demo. So the teacher took the class. By the end of the 40 minutes session, there was a worksheet that came up and children had to use the clickers to click. Fraction of seconds, the message went to the teacher. In your 40 minutes class, the first 10 minutes, everybody has understood. The remaining 30 minutes, nobody listened to your class. So the AI is giving. So the next 10 minutes, you do a gamification. The next 10 minutes, put a question answer, Q&A session. The children will listen. So we are all talking about AI, which is going to threaten us. But still I will say, we have started using and how effective it is. And now teachers are coming and saying it's really helping us. So as in how Vandana, she was saying we can create n number of question papers. It's true. So please ensure that your teachers are educated a lot about the digital strategies. So the practical strategies for the educators, using interactive tools inside the classroom, implementing collaborative platforms for group work and peer feedback. Today, every child gets afraid of a feedback. That's where the stress comes. But put them in a group. Let them work in a group. Let their own group give a peer feedback. It is good or bad. If the child is able to take the negative feedback in a positive way, I am very sure the class is a more learning environment. Strategies to differentiate instruction using digital resources to meet the diverse needs. This is what which we are using the AI. Leading digital transformation in schools. The role of school leaders as principals. We have to understand how important digital is going to play a vital role in today's education. So as principals, we have to be open-minded. We have to motivate our team. Yes, go on. There are different apps for you to set a PPT. You can gather information from here. You can do this. You can do that. Only then the followers, as and how we say, the followers is your teachers, will be well equipped. Encourage a growth mindset among the educators. Find out the teacher who is very good. Put them on small groups as mentor groups. They will be the best. Involve parents. This is a very important task where every school we have to do it. Please have parent engagement program. We have started doing it. It is a super success. Every month we call a parent who is inside software companies, how they are using the technology and what is the next upcoming technology. They talk to the other parents and they equip the other parents with a better knowledge than school directly talking to the parents. See, when it is a teacher or the principal talking to the parent, they feel, okay, again they are going to talk about the rules and regulations. But when you allow a parent who is technically sound on today's digital world, it's more interesting and more engaging. Evaluating impact, student engagement versus screen dependency. For example, I think each one of us, we have to now connect ourselves. Okay, how many of you can relate your holidays when you was at school days? Your holidays, how did you spend your holidays? Anyone from the group, can you say, how did you spend your holidays? How did you spend your holidays? When you was at school, now not when you are working at a school, when you was a student at school, how did you spend your holidays? Yes? Learning new rangolis, learning new art, reading a lot of books, playing with cousins, and involving ourselves when our parents are preparing new sweets for the holiday. Yes? But today, that connection is lost. Today, every parent are working parents. Fortunately or unfortunately, they have to support their family financially. Do you agree with that? Yes. So, they want to keep their children engaged. What is that they give to them? The mobile. But still, they don't know how those children are using that. But as school, we can do a lot of programs for the children and we can involve them in various programs by calling them for a community service, calling them for a program like exchange programs, because now a lot of schools do a lot of exchange programs. Why can't we do that? So ultimately their holidays are spent in a much progressive way than a non-progressive way. Ensuring that technology complements rather than replaces. Because we all are only scolding technology. Am I right? We are literally cursing technology. Why can't we think that it is a replacement, but how that replacement can be done? So when we follow these 3 steps, we get a better idea how it can be replaced. Gain actionable strategies to enhance student engagement using digital tools. This is what I told. We can keep them involved. Understand how to strike a balance between the technology and the real life. Learn ways to lead schools into digitally innovative future. Because if we say no, 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 ultimately there's another school in your city who is going to talk about the robots, the AI, and they may take your admissions. But ultimately, you should understand what is the need of the hour and keep yourself in that need of the hour in the right way. So I thank all the principals and the faculties who are representing different schools who have patiently listened to what I told. But listening is not the fact. Putting them into practice is the real need of the hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would now request Mr. Anil Sharma to please join us on stage to give away a few set of awards and also felicitate Dr. Manimekalai Mohan, founder and managing trustee of SSVM Institutions, Coimbatore. Let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Manimekalai Mohan, founder and managing trustee, SSVM Group of Institutions. A token of appreciation being handed over by Mr. Anil Sharma. I would also request ma'am to collect series of awards on behalf of SSVM Group of Institutions.